Heroes are rescuers. He will destroy the absurdities of fate. Ironic when that great power, but it's always there. Hero, do your best to save the world. And when successfully rescuing that hero, wish to the gods if I was reborn I wanted to have one peaceful life. Then he woke up, again in the body. The guy is there. Another person named Alan called. He called him to father's room on the way and laughed at him for being an incompetent and useless person when he met him. He bluntly dealt the cards even though he was accumulated, but all the indicators are lower. Not only that, during the ceremony, blessed the day before, he didn't even accept it. This is a first of its kind case because any child in the world is blessed with him. Say you're a disgrace. Go outside, Alan. No. Feeling sad or something because thanks to that, you are free. He wants to go to an eastern city to live a happy and unique life. Coming to a plateau, he used the skill. A few kilometers away, a girl was fighting a group. Every time she slashed it, it shattered the person she protects. The next generation is Princess Lisa. According to this body's memory, no one recognized him, and the princess was once a child. At that time, at a party, the nobles constantly criticized and despised him as a waste. Only the princess stood up to protect him and said he was not. Currently, although everyone just wants to live a peaceful life, from my previous life, I met someone who stood up for me. Squeezing you can't stop. Modern bodyguard girl. He was injured by the pebbles and collapsed. The princess was extremely scared. The buffalo and sheep have called their names. The wolf just rushed at him. The wolf lie appeared before Ms. Nan. Another conversation rushed in immediately. Who is using Tien Nan to see inside? Make gravel. Just attack there to kill them. So he used the encyclopedia technique to create conclusions. Create thousands of swords. The nearsighted girl Ba Tri is now in a state drama because of the injury. That, bursting into tears, not wanting her to die, Alan went to use his skills. Light heals wounds. Hers completely. Not only that, even damage of the outfit also returned intact. You two don't. What did you do? Anan cannot say this is strength. Lying in my previous life was a skill given to me the day before. Little is known why the two of you are here. The day before, I was riding a car and received a prophecy from the gods, so I went to the border area, but then I got sick again. Gravel attack. Fortunately, with his help, AI Lan survived to continue talking and used her healing skills to recover. The car is suffering. The ride in the car was very surprising. Expulsion, though, has such great power. He was also curious. When she saw him, powerful, but again, don't force him to come work. Work for the royal family. On the way to the border area, 3 people passed through a village. The strange thing is that there are no monsters here. What a nice person. Looks like monsters. Make something new. Ahead, people are gathering. At a house. From inside, a girl is angry with a man. Expulsion. She is Lisa's acquaintance Akira. In this world, there is an ability called the ability to be courageous. There will be someone who will be given that ability. That person will accept. The power of drawing pizza is a power holder. The whole group went to a restaurant. It is known that when she passed through the forest in this village, run to hug her. The girl said she was sacrificed to the dragon at the top of the mountain. So Akira arrived. He chased me away. Who recognized this village of human sacrifice? Give the dragon to receive magnetic protection so that the new creature did not dare to come close to the village. The electronic girl is now Aki. Arrange for a shelter. I want to defeat the dragon and solve it. Lisa and Song also volunteered to follow and support. Kira. Whoever is feeling it is very interesting and agrees to follow. At the foot of Akira Mountain, that she will move forward and have alleles. Will circle back and attack. Who thought that the whole group would attack together? Institute would be better than refusals because she felt able. You will destroy it alone. Not long after Akira. Great skill to create straight light. But unexpectedly it was unharmed. Tips to treat mosquito bites. Dragon. Catch the girl who was hiding when she arrived. Doesn't need to eat meat and tenderness, but what it wants is to see a full face. Akira was extremely angry. When listening to these, there's a risk that he will say something and rush up. Still the same. Still no problem. With just one. Antique shorts. The difference in strength was so great that the dragon was about to breathe fire to finish her off when he saw it. The saying that the dragon was too arrogant was thrown out. Demon-slaying knife injures it. The dragon was extremely surprised that humans could do it. Can't beat the dragon playing dog that rushes towards the girls. But he did not hesitate to use it. The ultimate move moves so fast that the dragon can't keep up. Reaction that hits the core. From now on, it's not the same as the peaceful life you want. But if you, in danger, he will help when Lan wakes up. Then I saw the car was next to me. In the foreground, Akira and Bari are clashing swords together. Lisa reminded herself about yesterday when she used the recovery skill. Bureau for Akira. You saw it. Olympic about a legend about people. Any injury or illness, let others be called. Ride feels. Blame yourself for always using the plus sign. Alan comforted her and told her whether she was a princess or a saint. The car is always going. That made her very happy. She didn't even give him time to wash his face. Kira, pull him out for a one-on-one match. It's time to say goodbye to Akira. For the little girl who was sacrificed. On the count's side he received news the dragon has. Initially, they deliberately seduced the false emperor so that the dragon could destroy her. But they did not expect the dragon. Not only that, the boy also controlled the stone wolves to attack the saint. But everything, they were also all destroyed. The two did not know that it was the son. Waste me. Deportation is people. Ruin the plan. Sorted into female and old dung. The subordinate also went on his mission to destroy one. The battle with the dragon Alan's sword was completely damaged. I feel like this is your fault. I pulled you and wanted to introduce you to a blacksmith shop. In the evening, 3 people set up. When someone was using the fire-making skill, it made Meiji extremely angry. I was tired from traveling all day, so I slept in the car. The object on Alan's leg suddenly startled her, and she woke up shyly, laughed and said, after all, the two of them were engaged to each other, so it wouldn't be a problem to make the bus ride. After all, he is her fiancé because he suffered from it. Liasi rested his head when he slept. He looked at the moon and felt the feeling of the two of them for the first time. It was also a moonlit night when we met. At the party that year, the driver did not despise him but even came to arrest him. Story and mentioned that the two were each other's fiancé. After passing through the city, they entered the forest, reached the blacksmith girl's house. The strange thing is that normally the sound of hammering can be heard outside, but now they couldn't hear a sound at all. Moreover, the main door is not broken. Inside, Alan saw even better weapons. Your sword, Lisa, is real. Sing when you see Christmas. Messi told her to calm down because this was normal. Noel usually won't eat or rest for many days to forge his sword, so it takes a while. After hearing the story, Noel learned that the princess wanted to ask her to forge a sword for Alan, but she refused because of the situation. Tons of applications. She saw Alan's sword broken. Feeling one skills have. You are not worth using your sword, but it's not said yet. See how surprised she was when she used her analytical skills. His tick saw that the sword had been used. It's due and it's done. She didn't know how capable he was. Since he could use the sword to this extent, he agreed to forge the sword for him. A sword can overcome. The sword can only be used by heroes. And then she chased the 3 people out to avoid influence. Go to your work and start forging swords. When the 3 people left, an invisible girl appeared. She went to report back to the henchman. The book became a female driver but is currently having a problem when she doesn't know which allele she can continue to follow. In the room, Benji told Alan to use the dragon scales he defeated to the Adventurers Guild. Fake in exchange for money, and you and the card will go join. Only when he was gone did the two talk about the main issue. I want. Solve it because don't want to drag Alan. Congress Adventure Reception Girl. Shocked when he brought a bunch of rare dragon scales. The old man who came to visit earlier introduced the person accompanying him as a female Amazon. Her general is quite rare in this kingdom. He said he was very interested in adventure stories, so he wanted you to tell him how to slay the dragon. But after going outside, he thought he was a weak person. Boasting it's not worrying because he can't see any ability in it. It's okay, Christmas. Once again on the floor, she finished forging the Sword of Passion. Whoever is holding it will realize that it is. The sword is very good. Noel wants. Try searching to be able to adjust accordingly. She recently recounted that she did not know who her parents were and was raised by a dwarf. Her name was Vanessa. After spending lots of monsters, lot of good supplies, the Book of Swords is not in Alan. Using the sword is very skillful as it doesn't have a single scratch. The two continued to go deeper. The air inside was extremely negative. FIFA doesn't exist. What monster? AI felt there was something ahead and used the slashing skill. Only then did the 2 people see that it was one child. Noel suddenly remembered with great fear. Vanessa has had it before. I want Alan to use the sword to kill it. A few years before Christmas got Valentine. She spent all day fighting for money and didn't pay attention to Christmas. So every time she was hungry, she had to go get something to eat herself. No matter what you say to Vanessa, she didn't respond but continued until the sword is finished forging. Then on the face, she smiled, making her happy too. Return. Download. Alan refuses Noel's request. Because objects do not cause. Moreover, it is still in the forest. Show is 1 city away. The way is so wrong that you have no reason. He also has no intention. Will help her get revenge. Noel angrily grabbed the sword and rushed forward when Alan warned him around. The white wolf has a protective veil. Normal weapons cannot cut through it. Must have sword. Noel said, my sword is still beyond. Even the sword, he said. Let's admit it. Can't forge yet. Noel also has no choice. But do nothing. Ireland returned to report the situation to Brazil and he thought there was someone. Gave the child arbitrarily. That thing came. He also asked if the 2 had finished what they wanted to do. He didn't think they came here just to, please help me get a sword. Seeing that he couldn't escape the eyes of the driver, he said that General Seagame, the most famous and strongest person, had been injured. Not only that, after the investigation, you don't leave any extremely mysterious traces. It's very possible that the devil was involved into this for strength. There's still something man cannot yet know. And maybe there's someone linked to devil for profit. Use their power. In the Mi Lin forest. Say no in Elan. One was able to break the invisibility layer, which she put up. The old man gave her the task of taking the heads of the saint and the female goblin, but it seemed she didn't want to do it. The old man clicked. Neck on the pigeon's neck. Listened to orders. Hinoa returned home and got to work. Based on what Ayla said about the disadvantages of the sword she had learned from experience and saved. I want to create a sword. The whole sword. But while forging, so exhausted that she fainted. In her dream, she saw the old man. Their house schedule. Vanessa used the sword she had just forged to attack not many swords. Lusa also suffered. When speaking aimed at Noelle, Akira appeared to use it. Excellent calling technique. Puzzle it. She needed feudalism to seriously injure the wolf. Seeing that, the old man used the skill. Vanessa's beauty no. Why could Akira easily slash the wounded wolf but Van's sword? Dedicated to forging. Miss Market. Why is the nightmare? I don't know if the ride has recovered. Please serve me. It's actually Alan. Noelle continued to work hard to forge swords and succeeded in forging them. Satisfactory sword. She took it with her into the forest to kill it, but the power is still too great. When the firefly was fixed, the wolf opened it. Fly away, old man. He was extremely excited about it. Both teacher and student. Noelle rushed forward without a sword, but the wolf dodged and kicked the shuttlecock. The old man said he didn't want to, which calls to her. Strength structure, exceptional strength, especially the eyes of the elemental lords. Musicals will now be endless. The old man is now. The lower level is Minnie. She lost her homeland, so he did. Even though he is destroyed the minion's homeland. Noelle is even more tense. Die but don't listen. The old man immediately came out. The wolf was about to kill her, but suddenly the allele came to repel her. The old man saw that and laughed, thinking that he had given up his mission. Stay in the house. My Lin is invisibly approaching Lisa's room. When I opened the blanket, I didn't see anyone. Lisa and Song knew this in advance. Will happen that stands. Minnie comes to fight with cards. After defeating his opponent Siyu Lao. The necklace on your neck. It glowed, but she was trying hard to keep herself from killing the car. And now what Song has been lost? Alan watched it all. Feel secure. Get ready to fight the old man, he commands. Let the wolf rush in. Fear of the scene. Writing will reappear, but no one lawn has slashed. Wolf monkey. The old man did not expect this. Return to the room. Belen is in. Mary really wants to take her back to Kindu. Judgment as, feel the ecstasy that causes. Why is she controlled? Not what she wanted to do. Millie said she had no place to go anymore. Teachers like me make Noelle sympathetic. Ko Kung Island. Completed the story of the Dutch girls chasing the old man. The old man then ran to a place, unexpectedly different, into the forest. When Alan chased him, he was killed. That devil is the one. Sign up for a contract. The previous row of information devices while riding was still small during a trip to a far place when she was visited by her uncle. But on the way they were, encounter monsters. The sheep rushed out to fight with them. A monster broke the glass door. We crashed into it, but it left. He didn't die but came back to attack him. Monster. Quickly he flew into the sky to eat meat. Then you did. A substance. Alan and the two girls keep moving, and they came to a throne. Here they are standard, to perform a ritual to welcome the soul. Tell the mystery. In essence, people will dress up as ghosts and dance. Before the fire, Lisa asked about a person wearing silver armor, but the people. No one knows about it. Before coming here, Noelle told them about a rumor that happened in this village every evening. A ghost wearing armor will appear. Go around the cemetery. Who is the person if he is the devil? Maybe they have the ability to revive the dead. So they went to the cemetery to investigate. Man, bright with milky white eyes, took them to the chief's house. He said no one knows this village better than the village chief. Inside the village chief's house, he also said he didn't know anything about the rumors they were investigating. He asked everyone to stay one night and Alan agreed to ride that night to remember him. My dear uncle. She loved her uncle so much that she called him father. At this time, she heard noises outside, so she went. Looking around, I saw the man, wearing silver armor identical to ours. Should I chase after him to the cemetery? Then I can't see it. Suddenly, many zombies emerged from the ground, scaring her. Luckily, it was just a dream. Alan woke her up. Lee Si trembled and hugged him. The next day, the villagers arrived. Who feels like there's something unusual about this village? As when being people, dancing together, Alan and Bari suddenly agreed at this moment. The voice called. She saw our backs leaving and immediately chased after us. Run deep into the area. The sheep also stopped. Sentence. Where have you been all this time for her? Many people searched the river but found nothing. The uncle said he personally hated it. Customs should be, take revenge on your brother. He added that the king had an idea. Currently, Siu Sifuang is targeting people with natural abilities. There are 5 types of innate abilities. abilities. The ability to create unparalleled weapons and the ability to double the strength of soldiers. The ability to see through all abilities and finally Lisa's Saintess ability. The monarch believes that people like Lisa are puppets of the god. He was too worried. The great power of the 5 people will destroy the kingdom, so she is trying to kill them even though she is a girl. Her uncle held out his arms to dance with her to defeat him. Like Ride refused even if it was true because before, her uncle once said, trust others in everything. Seeing that I couldn't brainwash her anymore, suddenly she flew up again. He aimed with his sword. Then Alan came to the rescue. He had been watching everything the whole time. I love you. Lisa's 7 uncles. The spell-breaking skill causes the strings to be controlling. Lisa's uncle weakly said that he was dead and was controlled by Nu. He extremely blamed himself for that. The way the sword pointed at your nephew and what you just said about the king are not. Particularly his anger towards the royal family. Because he is the king's younger brother, he is the second. Lots of flatterers and some people still plot to divide. Be 2 brothers. There's something I hate. It's my position. City captain of the team. Only Lisa was the only thing that comforted him. Miss Olam. Please take care of Lisa and also want him to fight with me. See if you are worthy of me. Why niece? When people get into fights, after a while the allele was defeated. And because of you, function when out of control. Lee's car hugs us. Crying in the rain. On the citadel, the village chief approached and asked him, knowing that he was evil. Right from the start, realized this. The village school was summoned. Life progresses to a, you should use Dispel Charm. The spell cuts the control rope. Then use the 1/ skill to kill them all. Zombies and chiefs. These 2 children. And Alan. The times when Project wants to come and have fun. Same father always. Received looks of disdain and hate. The servants in the house always told each other that it was cold all the time. Playful day long. Great explanation. That's why, because Cold really hates anyone who eats him. But Alan loves him very much. Until their capacity is give less, has become a favorite and has alleles. Who incompetence. Right now everyone in the city is buzzing with rumors. The super powerful general now appears again. Get everyone in. The location is very confusing. This time captain, the deputy was investigating around the city when they arrived at the alley. The black suit approached and said there was a place he wanted to take the captain to. Dealing prevent below can be a trap, but to, if you add more information, the level will be agreed. He was taken to a house. The bishop has disappeared. Instead it was the earl. As soon as they met, the 2 swung their swords at each other. The count and the captain are friends and have not seen each other for many years. The remedy smiled and told the general director, it's already my own person. A cold look attacked the captain. Since his beloved wife died, the count. What a life. Brazil was on another flight when the guy in black. Piers said, see Dang all the way. He has the ability to negate other abilities within the circle. Radius 1 meter. So those who met him on the battlefield couldn't use his powers. With that strength, the captain is called by people with the nickname of Disaster. Akira and the girl had now reached the castle. Promised the girl to wait until the end. The job is done. Find a safe place. Akira felt someone was following her, so she went to a deserted road and told them to get out. A group of people wearing clothes appeared to surround her. Anti says it's difficult to kill Goku alone, but for now, the load she is going with. A name creates a circle. The Dharma made her head extremely painful. It turns out that every person in the village has a ghost. They are on you. Power. They will be used by them. Just need the girl. Then it will explode. They asked her how she would choose to quit. Where little girl. Survive, file or die. Burst into tears for Akira Jiabao. As a dung Deco no. But hug her. Stay on the vice captain's side with their soldiers. Wearing black clothes blocked the way. The vice captain can feel it. Okay, I'm not your opponent. Should wear black, said he. We'll let them know about the... At the center of the SEA Games General Square with the Pope being used by a villain's ability. Control stated that this whole kingdom is being deceived by the gods. Each person will receive different abilities when they come of age. Those things are not fair. Disappointed with the ability I received. Only make life decisions based on your abilities. The question mark indicates that they are currently slaves of the gods, so to escape that ship give up all your abilities. Everyone was talking about it because the powerful ability was used to protect the kingdom. If it were to abandon it, the kingdom would become weak. And now is the time. He told everyone to look over there and there was a giant stone wolf. The power it can equal. Thousands of soldiers, so everyone doesn't need it. Must worry about protecting the kingdom. Hearing the general say that, people believed him very much. MZ also said that his ability to control lies has a lot of potential. The waterfall touches the country. They become richer and stronger. People really want to live. According to my own life, I also agree. But they worry if they miss it. And he introduced so new. The power of people. He took off his black hoodie and it was a demon. Makes everyone panic. BZ introduced that they had successfully established a good relationship. Interaction with species. Species will lend them strength. Substitute for energy. The preaching was so convincing and delicious that people loved it so much. The thief in black said similar things too. Although it was quite convincing, he knew it. Who's seen? harmful to the kingdom. Seeing that he could not convince them with words, he attacked and killed all the soldiers and injured the deputy captain. Messi was present to support, and at the team's place he was captured. As soon as the man in black appeared, the count asked him if he had finished dealing with old Dung. No, the guy in black is attacking you again. The veil. When she and the baby were attacked, the circle protected them. To appear protective, Akira remembered what Alan had said, that he had written a ghost. Dharma should be her mark. During. Rhett is happy thinking everyone will listen to him. By Alan Van Up to Do. Messi approached the devil and asked, "Is it the case? And was Princess Lisa caused by them?" The devil saw the two anyway. Will also be inhaled. But he didn't know that the invisible Milan was using a magic tool to record the image. His voice conveyed to A, and he spoiled it for the people to see. The devil said to them, the possessors, power like a general, and the princess is a big obstacle. In their plan, they will say sweet words, seducing people to voluntarily give up their own abilities. Extremely cold, conducting gas. People were also extremely surprised to learn that they were plotting something. Lisa appeared to reassure the panicked people. She gave 2 cases. I'm about to be right, and the beasts that attack her are these, over there. I don't understand why the name. Cold then laughed like crazy. He controlled the soldiers to attack the people. Alanin used his skills to break the control wires. Name BZ unexpected one. Incompetent people like you can stand in his way. He ordered. Whoever feels like this is happening is because of you. Didn't pay much attention to his younger brother. Break rushed to attack Alan, but was caught by him and punched him on the ground. Messi, thanks to the minion sphere, can be invisible and fight equally with the devil. He saw that the situation was not good and wanted to leave. The delivered TV shelf injured him. What card is in the sword area? Death the devil. All over the city now. The deputy captain prepares to lead soldier Lin to the exam. She was asked by someone to bring a lot of support weapons. 2 people are at Dung's place. Capacity. He is the G-spot warning. Tet, he saw the near future as education to whether it is needed. The countess had seen it before. His wife's death, so he tried to change many things but did nothing. He deeply hated the gods because his wife's life was always being teased by her abilities. God gives. Her ability is that of a holy mother, giving birth to a hero and then losing his life. Whoever does this is a useless person, whether his wife is dead or not. The more he spoke, the more blood flowed from the count's eyes. He used his life in exchange for his power. Akira was sent flying when hit. Counting the count, when he was hit, he fell into a visible dimension. Feelings of happiness and sadness. The count wanted to convince his friend the countess to wake up but was stabbed. Akira was mad when the captain wanted to be good for him, but he did that. What does that have to do with those 3 words, smiling and asking? He threw super aiming. Then who again? Earl. Due to the dark projection but has been affected by the allele. Made him again. I don't understand what you are. But I can help you. His strength. Who said that maybe mom didn't want this? The 3 generals used all their remaining power to target the allele. He also went into the empty dimension. Here he saw the count's previous memories. He and his wife were happy to have a child, Mr. Quiet Will. He must awaken and use the skill of beheading the demon scimitar. Exit outside. 1,000 swords attacked the count. Maybe he is slowly transforming into a purple tornado that appears to create, far from the clouds, coverage of the city. Who can use their eyes to know the taste? That means wherever you are, you can stab your sword straight into that place. He continued into the other dimension. Here you see one. The purple ball is filled. You should stab down with your sword. Beside, the count, who was also gradually disappearing, shed tears towards his wife. After all, who did you give the happiness to? Formula material. The guys who refused it when they were about to leave then broke away, ran up and said he wanted to go with everyone. Unexpectedly, she accepted the count's territory and became the owner. Mary really wanted to go with her, but because he belonged to the Imperial Guard, and she is no more, the royal family should write something impossible before anyone reincarnated an angel. For you, because you didn't expect it, become a brother. A hero must live a life of sadness like draw the girls who gave him one wish, which was to come to this world. Anan woke up from a nostalgic dream. While preparing, morning is fine, or just bring underwear. Lisa was extremely excited and caught him. Have to forget all the things. During the Christmas dinner at your house, I will go with you later to try to find something. Lisa said he had promised to work with her to solve the house paperwork dispute, and Lin wanted to sleep. Outside the door, the Adventure Guild's hostess brought him a bunch of quests. Because these monsters are only you can handle it, so everyone competed. Translate Alan back to me. He had to be very tired to be able to handle everything. In head. Suddenly an idea flashed. I'll come to the Empire if I find a good place. We'll live there. Noel had also heard that in the Empire there were many dwarves who forged swords. We'll go there together. Only Lisa is quite sad. When she doesn't, there are many wanderers like everyone else. But when the day came, she handed over everything. Let the baby go again and relax. Hang out with everyone on the road to the Empire. The terrain here is mainly mountains and deserts, which makes it difficult for girls to stay in the car. Very annoying, but only minions, still sleeping well. Alan, please stop the car. Fire truck has many. It is said that they are known as the desert gods of death. Opponents win prizes. Whoever is going to die immediately rushes up. The three girls were not surprised because this was so familiar. After the journey, the group reached the Empire. Feeling sentence. The atmosphere here seems very strange. While walking, suddenly as soon as he looked, he recognized her as Henry. The land used to cry. He was very curious and didn't understand. Why are you here? As soon as he met Uncle Henry, he blushed. Lisa recognized her as the Marquise lady. Henry, it should not come to the country at the present time. The empire is in a state. All it takes is a small fire. The whole country is in chaos. Not only that, there is also the activity of Black Lang. Knights, the strongest army that does not need orders from the king. Having finished speaking, she ran away. Anna also chased away. Behind the board, the rest of you go sightseeing around. He ran to ask if yes, she is still there. Is God's eternal power from the previous world? And you also want to know, why did you have to come to this world? Head hesitantly told him that he was clumsy, so he followed him into school. She reminded him of his desire to live peacefully. Suddenly this time, there was a case before. Come see and see. One person is quitting. He used the ladder to threaten and stay away from those who still stand still and use martial arts. When he was about to take the spear and return to the army, he suddenly surrounded him. On the back, there is a magic. Darkness causes his blood to stop. A girl came forward and said he was the suspect in the explosion earlier. Who is explaining that he only defended himself but did not cause harm. Death gives name. The girl with the ability can see which powers have been used, so she knows he hasn't used them. Weapons and abilities and still kill that guy. Power alone. Because she couldn't know. She suspected the allele was. No matter how you explain it, girl, still don't believe it but want it, belongs to Black Lang. If you cause trouble with them, you will. When she was about to be captured, the allele suddenly disappeared. A girl for people who blockade all borders. Alan was helped by Milan to become invisible. She knew he was in danger and came to help thanks to Henry. Whatever you do, it's time to return. But all the ways back to the kingdom have been blocked. They also can't let Million help the party become invisible because if so, under great pressure, the whole group went to Henry's house. He was extremely surprised when he was attacked by the family's former head butler. My family was here when the beautiful women in the family quit their jobs and Henry extended a helping hand to bring them here to work. Alan wanted to know what was going on in the country that the military was so strict. That's because the emperor was assassinated a year ago, but there are still no clues about the culprit. When the two of them were alone, Lon asked him, "Are you watching?" He realized, "How do you know the servants are on leave? Work and encounter." He thanked her until now. Henry, feel happy. Because in the end you could laugh. In the old world, although you were a hero, resilient but betrayed and shunned by the people, living in a big house doing nothing. What makes me extremely bored? She even imagined it herself. I'm forging a sword myself. Who came up with the present? The Night Order is trying to capture you, so why don't everyone go out? So Noel came out with Malim. The two of them danced extremely enthusiastically while having fun, eating and drinking all sorts of things, feeling very strange. Strange that there are so many goblins here. Moreover, they looked at her thoughtfully. She thought that maybe she was too cute. I still don't know if I'm narcissistic. Which song? The elves approached and started a conversation. For her, she should fulfill her duty. The defendant ran back. Noel still thinks that. Straight into cold water. Tell me those elves just interested. Henry said to come with her. Christmas painting. 5 people arrived. After the building, Henry used it. Light flashed. The group saw themselves being stay in one area. This is a goblin forest that only a few people can access. Everyone who leaves the goblin forest will suffer. Memories should be clean. Not remembering anything is obvious. They went deep into the forest. Lean animals. The custom of borrowing Christmas. She felt like this was the place. Suddenly many goblins from the forest surrounded the group. Alan doesn't. Harry said everyone. Concentration is. The king has returned. The elves kneel down to welcome Christmas. Who recognized Zalo. Of unrequited love. She is a descendant of the Spirit King. Currently, the Spirit King's bloodline has ended at Christmas. Considered as, however, she still cannot accept this position. See Guy and leads the group. Visit the throne. Here the elves live life. Furthermore, they also use human objects. At this moment 2 children came running. Give her chestnuts and happily say tomorrow will bring surprises. FIFA told the kid Phillips to also show up and stop hiding. He asked the boy not to try to approach the king. While she was walking, the kid feels very. Let's face it, bad guys get to talk to the king. Shiva Custard Boy turns him on. That night, the girl was Little Captain's. The Night Corps is on a mission, subordinate of. She ordered him to investigate and find a way to enter the goblin forest. In the village right now, Alan is sitting and talking to Sevasper. The king's existence is extremely necessary. Without him, they cannot develop further. During the period, that tough guy or whatever helped them. She talked about Noel possessing the Spirit King's eyes and that he came here at night with many things. Goblins are contact with the outside world, but since Henry appeared and teaching, Then the elves were more extroverted. They also go to the human world. Who asks? Yes, Henry brought the 2 children. Does the devil come here? He was curious about demons, being shunned by the whole world but able to live with goblins. 3 years ago, Henry brought 2 children. At first everyone refused, but Henry said if they lived with the owner, improved birth problems, and it is possible to live without having to rely on the king. The elves also agreed, but there were still a few people left. Annoyed with this, night comes Christmas. Reading her mind, she still hasn't fulfilled Vanessa's wish. Out the sword. She doesn't know now. Download yourself what you want to do. Whose room did Harry go to? Because you gave the signal. The frame of influence told him to be gentle with him, and then pouted his lips. Alan gives it to you too now. You can go back to your room. Make her mad and curse her. Getting to the main issue, the question about the 2 children. She also recounts the devil, not a race. When humans have feelings of hatred reach their peak, then the world will record, and children are born from those parents. Children will be killed shortly after they are born. Those children are cornered, having to struggle to survive, and thanks to that, the devil became very strong. And she saved 2 kids when they were about to be killed. It's okay. While walking, Henry said, hey, she refused. 2 demon children ran over. Give her a unique spirit stone. Gemstones used. Fi boy. Run and throw the stone. Tell the devil not to come near the king and then leave. 2 children. Henry must return to the human world to advise Philip that the other 2 demon children also exist. Feel like you wanna come. Then there are 3 children. Becoming friends is the right thing. Then she told the boy to come back. Come back early and leave. Phillips also feels guilty. When he returned, he was attacked by Black's serrated arrow. Han used his sword to threaten him, revealing the entrance to the goblin forest, and the group was treated to a meal by the goblin people. Henry feels like Noel is thoughtful. Who is thinking that his status as king, but the satiety is sad. Poured of food, but didn't take it. Because Henry had something to do, he went back to the mansion. Before, and she was asked to find a Filipino boy from the village. Haven't seen it yet. They felt very strange that the elves ate and played all day without working. Shiva told the goblins they should not work by. They grow. Good story. It can be said to be longevity. The value of work is also different from others. They don't need to worry about food because if you just want it, the forest will bless them with the fruits. That's because the elves and the rainforest have mixed together. Elves are the forest, and the forest is also a goblin. These love quality of the forest. Then let's follow the next generations. Alan wanted to know if he could stay here. This forest is extremely peaceful, an ideal place for the life he wants. But Shiva said that he needs to live a virtual life of the forest, that he doesn't know how to get that recognition. Those 2 evil children only lived here for a short time. Alan also wants to live here for a short time. They were extremely surprised to hear the short time it took him to talk back. Training Camp 100. At this time, the forest signaled to Shiva that there was someone the forest did not recognize. In the Empire, there are many people who have the right to enter the Goblin Forest, so I will go there to see Ghostlawn. Signature, may you live. Because of the environment here. Even better, the elves are very kind. There's still Christmas here to work. Hearing that, Lee Sang looked sulky. Don't care about you. She saw that he had a very close relationship with Henry, so she was curious about their relationship. Alanine didn't know how to explain it. Saying she's an angel from a past life is a simple explanation. Fate. Hearing that, Lisa became even more worried than the Forest of Tears. Noelle and Mi-Lin sat and watched the scene of a wife discovering her husband was having an affair. Henry returned to the mansion when a guest came to the house again. Captain Light. She thinks that Henry is hiding a criminal because the person she met the other day disappeared without a trace. There is still no sign of crossing the border. The only person that these illusionary things can be done could just be Asma. Little immediately, subordinates and everywhere, but then Little asked if Henry was hiding a criminal. Work in the Goblin Forest. When Shiva went to meet the intruder, he realized that the serrated man had taken advantage. Use Phillips to enter the Goblin Forest. He also knows about the Black Lang. Their power is extremely crazy. Death penalty for anyone. Don't get involved with them. The Sawtooth guy told me to hand it over. Shiva didn't know what he was talking about because the jagged name is even more absurd. The 2 children thought there were visitors at their destination. The serrated name is attached to I love you. Just cover up the crime. Him. Fall Shiva and then use a snap of his fingers. Created a huge explosion. Noel felt it from the precious stone. Temporary residence is sending a request for help to someone. Lon don't know if. Should you go help? In your previous life. Helped a lot of kids, but they all scared. Kick the shuttlecock while the child is still unharmed. Shiva creates a protective shield. The serrated guy snapped his fingers, causing a large tree to fall. After birth, an explosion injured him. He ignored him and went to the 2 children wanting to kill them. Phillips stopped Noah in time to throw a hammer at his head. The Sawtooth guy kept snapping his fingers. Create explosions. Luckily, the white Christmas scissors mini was able to escape. FIFA wants to attack. Behind but speed. HD aesthetics. Swap target to England. He said there was no need. What's the name of the family name? Resolved quickly. The sawtooth guy wanted to snap his fingers but was disabled by Alan. He turned to Noel. Then he rushed forward and cut off his explosive chain. Sawtooth name. Very confident in sword skills. It's true, but when I swing the sword, it's Vung. Alan moved behind him and knocked him unconscious. Not long after, Henry also returned. We'll solve everything. Good ancestors are the roads back to the kingdom that have been reopened. Structure, see them return every. Leave the rest of the story to her. Who noticed something was wrong here that afternoon. The 4 people said goodbye to the goblin people and returned together. Noel, very excited to get started right away. The car is a bit sad because it hasn't arrived yet. Thank you, Henry. When she helped us all a lot. When they were preparing to leave, a guy appeared. He said he wanted them to help him. He is Henry's younger brother Tit. Currently, Harry has been blackmailed by the Kai village. Sidon captured. Emperor Book. Everyone knows she won't. But that cannot be explained, because she was the custom of boycott. It's because Henry is overloaded and makes many people angry. He alone couldn't do anything to save Henry. Lisa suddenly remembered before. Go once said Dad. Her mother died young and she had no brother. Who wants to consider this? Come out to the side. Who is feeling very present when they are about to leave when they get this big surprise? Originally, Henry didn't have a younger brother. But he knew they knew Henry. Although I still don't know what his purpose is, it is true that Henry was arrested. Now she is suffering from Black Wolf. The only way is to rush straight there to find out. In Henrico's place is little in the forest. She admitted herself. To monitor the Emperor, he wears the Black Wolf cavalry. C also has no reason left to seal the border. Harry wanted to ensure the safety of AL's team. She looked at Little with scary eyes, threatening if anything happened to them. Then we will get the network list. The next day, Alan and the 3 girls went to Tit's place. The night comes along too. Inside the car, everyone's faces were extremely serious because they thought the girl she liked might be a bad person. Whoever is getting straight to the point says Henry doesn't have one. Cute, it explains. That's the bottom line. Surgery on a side branch. In other words, you are a cousin. He admired her greatly. Since he was a child, he was a useless person, but Henry was not. Disdainfully came to start a conversation. Her attitude is very unpleasant, but actually it's an holiday. The 2 of them chatted and played together very happily. But every time he got close to Henry, his parents forbade him to take him away. So he was always watching Henry, and knowing her through the Elan group was by accident. By evening, Little's team camped in the middle of the highlands. Henry told Little to take a break. Google won't. Run away and sleep here. The question about the serrated name has been how to judge. Little said bye. The king's assassin was caught, so he was. Henry also doesn't know who wants it. The uterus becomes. Although she was close to the king, she didn't care as long as Alan's group was safe. In Black Lang City. Blocked. Don't let people pass. Any other way should they? You can only go to find out the news. Cute, it left Noel and Milin, so he stayed here because the empire is quite rare among elves and Amazons. So you 2 will come. Who else is Lon and Lisa at the Adventure Festival? She was extremely excited because she hadn't been able to go alone for a long time. With you at my Lin boarding house. Feeling the cavalry. Just very suspicious. Siu Tit introduced him as the most elite knight here, so if. When the 2 approached, he seemed very confused. Siu Tit said that he was a shy person, that's why he was like that. After asking around for a while, the Adventurers Guild had it. The horseman is looking for one. Seems to be looking for the group of. Seeing that it's not safe here is Din. Take her away. Then suddenly a girl. Belongs to the Black Village. C rushed in and asked no one. Question about a group of 6 people, but the characteristics are unknown. What is theirs? Don't pay attention to paying for fake insurance because they won't benefit you either. The female knight immediately threw a bag of money on the table, saying that anyone who provided information would be rewarded. 100 gold coins. Insurance premiums. Tell it with bright eyes. 2 guys. Ask for news but now. Haven't seen it yet. She ran outside. Then I saw 2 people standing. C ride. Dry out. And female. C and not a child, so it had to be. Treat the boy and leave the 2 of you alone. Suddenly, an explosion occurred in the direction of the house. When the 2 ran over, they saw the serrated man who had captured Noel and Milin. He came to repay Alan's debt from his previous life. Slime Tan. An incredibly child. Be about to be swarmed by monsters. When they took it, the brave man who was looking for a position rushed in as fast as the wind and killed them all. He stretched out his hand to reassure the boy that everything was okay. Back to reality, many people are under the rubble. The saw-toothed guy saw Alan very calmly and asked yes. The 2 of them don't. Block with Alan wants to know if label the saber-toothed strangler or the girl at the beginning of his stubbornness. Which happens faster? He wanted to kill the Millen, but very quickly his arm was broken. The serrated man screamed in pain, but then Pizza Han has created many chains that lead explosives to everyone there is. He wants to know who did it, everyone or just saving people. He suddenly remembered that when he stretched out his hand to reach out to the child, he was extremely exhausted. Let's call him. The monster makes your heart. He thinks now, I'm no longer a hero, so I don't have to save others. But then when the serrated man activated his ability to explode, causing people to explode, Alan also exploded. With the light slashed the ropes. The two sisters are crushed under the pile of rubble. Your speed is too fast for anyone. What just happened? The sawtooth guy even thought that his ability was not good. Someone was about to behead him when a girl stopped him. She told Ban, "We will deal with him in the name of the team." Black's deputy. Alan also didn't want to mess things up, so he stopped. In the evening, everyone was treated by car. Now Alan is much preoccupied with his goals. Switzerland is their name, but they don't understand. Why are they? Another thing is not knowing the leader of. The deputy reported to Little and wanted to be handled. Little for 2 leaders. Will deal with the obstructionist himself. Luke. A darkness enveloped the serrated man and swallowed Han. Henrico's side was also taken to a search room. Because she was bored being alone, she asked Les to bring her one. The situation in the City Gate organization seems difficult. When suffering and becoming needy. Hung Noel and Mi Lin. 2 rare races. Lisa is a former princess of another country and he is a wanderer. Issuance of travel cards. Lisa came up with a way. A hole through the city wall. Think of this immediately. Reject immediately because if Dao accidentally hits the soldiers, they will all be arrested. Furthermore, it takes several days to dig. Cudit remembered that in each city there was a secret cellar. Only the royal family knows how to use it. You will come along. His artist passes through the Citadel gate. I will follow the tunnel down into the pitch-black basement. With my magic I can see. Up ahead there are soldiers on patrol here. Is there any place? For people held each other's hands to hide from the soldiers. Minnie was also very tired because there were so many people consuming a lot of magic power. This time they continued. I can't see, but she has these. Baby's sensitive senses. Where are they? She promised not to harm the girls. Just need Alan to stay. He also agreed because he was not confident enough to protect everyone and win. The 3 girls could only obey and go ahead. The 2 immediately rushed to fight. Little moved at extremely fast speed to attack security. Although she had many opportunities to take his head, she didn't act because he promised Henry. Children will not pose a danger. Suddenly the whole basement shone. A ceasefire can only be avoided. Cootie and the girls stood. We see the base. It's extremely worrying when it collapses. At this time, appearing behind them with a body full of dirt, Lisa happily rushed to hug him. Noel reminded too. You should do it in private. Who's asking Cudit why I saw you with your face looking like you just saw a ghost in your room. While reading a book, Alan came and chatted so normally that it startled her. She blushed. When I heard you say you were worried about me, suddenly telling him to go home, she didn't need to ask for help with a sad look. When someone was leaving, she didn't understand why she did such a stupid thing. Return. Cute Whitey, said Henry, currently suspected of being. Morning arrived, so if they go to save her, the kingdom will also be involved. You could lead to a war between the 2. Alan had also agreed to return or whatever and was now taken to prison. But I didn't expect Cute Whitey to be the one behind it. He threatened the royal family to make them obey. Become a commanding leader. What Ciutit wanted to do was becoming emperor but can't download anyone. His mother is a civilian, so he wants to marry Henry, the head of. Poke must ascend to the throne with him. I thought she would agree, but I didn't expect her to scold this as utter nonsense. She didn't expect him to be a guy having such ridiculous ambitions, who is offering sweet words if Henry becomes queen, but she don't care and go to sleep. Courage-vous. It's so annoying that I can't advise you. Get angry and leave. On the car ride back to the kingdom, Alan said Henry had kicked him out. Returning to the kingdom, she can probably resolve everything. In prison, Little came to give Henry a book about hero legends. From search, she had enjoyed it immensely. These other words come out when Hari comes in. Admiring the heroes doesn't require anything in return but still save the world. But heroes dying prematurely is morality. So she did her best to assist hero Alan in fighting the monster. The 2 of them have gone through many journeys together, but still, death is still not. After a while, Cute Whitey returned. Ask her if she was thinking. Opinions on becoming a queen, still received at noon. He said if the bridge is stubborn then we'll be hanged. These Henrys did not. No problem. Cootie and Vil will have to assassinate Z. Alan. She became even calmer. Surely there was someone stronger than Alan. He continued to threaten to burn down the goblin forest. Then she threatened. Swap Diane punched her and she fell down. Then Lean. Henry asked him if he was satisfied. He seemed to wake up extremely worried. Ciutit is infinite. Why didn't the plan go as expected? Suddenly a black smoke surrounded him, making his mind think about scary things if he didn't have her. Group of. Currently stopping at city to buy things. Lisa told him he should probably go back and save him. Even if she didn't need them to save her, she still wanted to save her. Knight Tien came and said if you want to save, go save without any reason. The cute guy Whitey once again returned to the dungeon. The dark power within him appeared. The arm strangled the hen. While she was in extreme pain, Alan came and cut off her arms. 30. Showing you this place is the team. She betrayed because she did not want to serve an army like him. The story had to go back to before because he wanted to have Henry keep the sentence to yourself that he called for. The devil immediately took out Emperor Bao's head. To do that, you become emperor. Then the devil gave him strength that made him sink deep into the path. Cute strong. His power is extremely great not a competitor of. He immediately retorted that strength was not his. Cute boc fat. Strong makes the whole house. Hundreds of hands rushed to attack. Tiara already got the vice captain girls. He rushed to cut off the hands and then beat them for cuteness. Alan started using pine. The old man asked for the purpose. What is his? What will you do when you become emperor? Cute little thought and realized that he just wanted to have Henry, but then he failed. The devil took advantage of MANHWA. Henry felt like he was exactly the same as he was when he was a kid, so he came to apologize for not being able to respond. The name Cute it is now changed from Crazy Swap because whoever did it is why she doesn't like him. Alan Gwyn, please stop or else. But it's too late, it's slowly taking shape. His power is now extremely powerful. His hands grabbed Alan. In a 1,000-pound situation, lip ice hair fibers, out of arms. She came because of the allele energy and also knew Cutie's name. About to fail but will. Serving Chinese language. The name Cute it completely turns into a demon targeting the allele. Sword slashed. Holy place Mang rushed to and immediately ate a skewer of beetle. And the story is gradually coming to an end. The story about Cute it the emperor is behind everything. The story is not transferred. And the Vietnamese people heard rumors that Henry had been hanged to death. But actually it's just a sentence. The story was made up so that the whole country would not be disturbed. As for Asma, really got on the same carriage.